Hey everyone, so I would like to dive into the world of AI today once more, but in this video I want to do something like product overview or like an X prompt exploratory session with an AI service that at least it promises us that it can build applications just based on your prompt. So the service is called Base44, and it's not actually, this is not an ad, this is not some like in promotion or something. It's just me out of curiosity because I got like the ad for this service has popped up in my YouTube feed, and that's why I was curious to check it out and like basically trying to either debunk or confirm their slogan that they're helping us build the apps just by thinking about the app. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm actually gonna give it 2 shots, because I got like a couple ideas in terms of very simple apps. Once again, I'm not a developer, so yeah, if you want to call it like a vibe coding, because actually I think this is some sort of vibe coding. It's even further than vibe coding. You just type in the prompt and expect the service to compose the application for you. So let's see how good it goes with these tasks. But first of all, I would like us to watch the the actual ad for this application, so that in the end of this video we are gonna like either confirm that it was valid or debunk it, that which would mean that they have over-promised us and under-delivered. And once again, this is not I don't have some sort of prejudice or some negative mindset or preset towards this company. This is just semi-spontaneous, so it's just how it goes. So yeah, let's get on with it.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea.
Okay, so first off, I would like to say, to point out that it's got those bright, vibrant colors. The animations are amazing, the transitions, all that. So in terms of like editing and production, and I guess like the marketing, this is like an A+. And it's also like very corporate style. It's very polished. I mean, it's very polished. It's very like formal. It's pretty much strict, and it hooks you at the very beginning of this video. There's always that little catch. We're gonna get to that later. The catch is not in the ad, by the way.
And a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want.
Make the colors brighter and add fillers the shoppers need. Like, for example, I don't think that this prompt is very distinct. I think it's very like general, which gives me the idea that this demo, it's not even a demo, it's kind of like a pre-rendered video, which was not done with the help of the actual Base44 service. It was probably done with the help of video editing software and things like that. Because if I were to construct a prompt, I would be very, very distinct, or at least I would be distinct to my own ability to be able and describe stuff. It's better to give like as much detail as you can possibly provide in order for any AI service to understand you better, or to understand your prompt and to have the likewise answer. This is not one of those prompts.
And watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand.
I would also like to point out another thing. If you are providing those very short prompts with the general descriptions and no distinction, you probably would have to reprovide the prompts or reprompt the service over and over again for obvious reasons, right? As I've just said, you probably are going to waste a lot of time, which you would rather input into constructing one distinct prompt, where you would have all those like filters. Don't expect AI to like generate some new sort of like successful startup app out of the blue, still standardized in a way. My only possible recommendation would be, you can be very distinct only if you're generating an app that you would use yourself, whether it's some fitness tracker, like health tracker, or like a health and fitness app, or some shop, specific shop, which is customized for your needs. So think about your needs at first, whenever you're doing something like that, because this is like a mock-up. I don't think that this would be like an actual app in any sort of case. This would be perfect as a mock-up. But that's just my opinion. Of course, I'm not forcing it on anybody.
In any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready.
Well, when I saw this cryptocurrency trading platform, yeah, you can build it like some demo app with it. But I'm not sure that you'll be able to actually trade real
cryptos and fiat with an app built with the help of this service, because it would require lots and lots of legislation to take place so that your trading platform or an exchange is actually valid and is recognized by, some governmental institutions and regulations. Personally, for me, this is not a very good take. Or at least, for those people who don't know that, this is like hype. This is a hypey title. I mean, like cryptocurrency trading platform, like out of the blue with a simple prompt like this. But like in reality, I don't think that would work. We may even try it someday. So yeah, but it's not the case. Let's finish with this ad.
For many, from passion project.
Once again, music production is one of my hobbies, and I am using like the DAW, like DAW, which is like basically digital audio workstation. Here's some examples such as Ableton, Cubase, or FL Studio. There's lots and lots more. What I mean by that is you cannot build like a sequencer and all those details, little details, which will be compatible with your device, with your like external hardware synthesizers. In this case, it would not work via simple prompt like this. It goes as an ad, but it may mislead some people if you take it like it is.
Grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
So like overall this ad is pretty decent, but I don't really think that this service is up to the challenge right now. Who am I to judge prematurely? Let's check it out and see for ourselves.
And the first idea for it is going to be something like a page, a simple page, where you can input the link to the YouTube playlist, and the playlist should be public. So make sure that you make this playlist public in the playlist settings on your YouTube account, and then you provide this link. It actually starts playing all those videos which are in the playlist. But there is a little twist to that. I wanted to play only audio. I don't want to play like the video. As far as YouTube goes, it's got like lots of ads, and even the ad blocker or AdBlock or some other like services don't, like filters, they don't help. And nowadays, so YouTube music sucks if it's free, because there's like, once again, lots and tons of those ads. Let's say if I wanted to build something like a radio station to input the link to the playlist, to the public playlist in YouTube, and we actually play all the audios. So will Base44 be able to do that? Let's give it a shot.
So here I got the public YouTube playlist, and this is the URL of that playlist, and we're gonna use that URL and paste it to our supposedly working app in the Base44 so that it would play on the audios. Now let's generate this prompt, right? So here we are on the Base44 web page, and I guess what we need to do is type in the prompt right here. So what do we want to build? So build me a simple, let's say a single page application, single page app, which would have a field where I can paste my public YouTube playlist link. Playlists can only be public. Add a warning, or I mean an info panel, which would show a user that info. The page must also contain a play button. When I click on the play button, it starts playing only the audios from the playlists videos. I also want to be able to play the playlist's elements in the random order, shuffle it, or replay a single element. Elements are audios in our case. Visual choice is yours. I don't really care about that part. Okay, so I guess I've described like all the elements I want to see there. Good MVP, right? Agile Scrum methodology. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. So it seems like it's taking some time to build this app, to generate it. So let's wait for a little bit. Meanwhile, we got some, description, I guess, or like a plan, and it's got like some core features right here, and they disappeared. Oh, I don't know what's going on, but I'll just wait, I guess. Okay, so it looks like it has prepared some, let's say, at least I guess some demo or like an MVP. Okay, so let's check this out. Yeah, so it's named like Audio Flow. It actually doesn't matter. And it's got like a subheader. Yeah, transform YouTube playlist into audio experiences. Here is our info panel that we have ordered. So make sure your playlist is set to public visibility, and we can add it here and load it. Is there like anything else that it has provided me with, like any info? So it's got like key features, it's got design approach, and I guess it's got like technical implementation, mobile responsive. I saw that, you know, while it was doing this thing, it like provided me with some info that it doesn't have like the direct YouTube API integration, which I don't know, probably this will be an issue. So like, let me just try and you know, actually paste this public playlist link right here and click load. Oops. So here we are, I guess. So what's going on here? So not found, error, failed to execute. So before on the node, the nodes are not child on this node. So what do you mean by that? I want to be able to test this stuff out. So let's resolve this. At least try to resolve it with AI. So let's wait for a little bit once again. Yeah, here's our error message. And let's wait until it kind of tries, I believe, to fix this thing, right? The vibe code and magic behind the scenes. Imagination. Whatever. So, did it fix anything? So let's try once more, right? Let's read through at first. So the error happens when the code tries to add a single the YouTube player script to the page in a way that can sometimes fail depending on how the page is structured. Reliable method. So the playlist will now start playing automatically as soon as you click load. The track number display will be more accurate. The repeat one functionality will now work properly. Let us try this. Nope, not working again. So let's once again try and resolve it with AI. Because, you know, this is, I think at least it looks like pretty simple, right? Pretty simple to me. You know, this app idea. So I can imagine it, but as far as Base44 concerned is, it cannot build it. But they said that, you know, if I can imagine it, it can build it. So a bit of a cognitive dissonance right here. But yeah, let's give it like a couple more attempts to, you know, to fix these things for us, so that we can actually provide this link to the playlist and be able to, you know, play the audio from the playlist elements. So here we are once again. Also notice that we have, you know, we can refresh the preview and we can like test the responsive design or UI. So this is how it would look on mobile and desktop. Fix the script loading issue by using safer approach that checks for existing scripts and uses document head instead of problematic DOM insertion methods. I think yeah, this is somewhere. So it's done some dumb magic for this page, like within it, underneath this UI, probably. We also can refresh the preview. Okay, so what can we do? Can we finally try it? Will this work this time? Nope, it just doesn't want to work. Or maybe I'm too fast because it's still applying actions. I don't know. Come on, man, it's disappointing. It's not that I have ordered some, you know, you know, drone creation software or like military soft, which is like top secret or whatever. I just want to be able to listen to the music without the ads, and that's it. Is it too much to ask for in 2025 in this modern age BS society? Whatever. Okay, I'll give it one last shot. I mean, one last attempt right here. So the app crashes once I provide the valid URL and click load. Here's the URL I provide. Come on, you got a final attempt to make it work. That was some human-like prompt, wasn't it? Obviously, because I'm a human. So let's wait. So we got the code for our project. We can also sort of export it to the GitHub. I guess it can create a repo for us. That's cool, you know. At least like visually, like I don't have any questions like in terms of like visual part, but I do have like questions in terms of like functional part because it's not working. And we also cannot edit the code on our free tier. So okay, not an issue. Let's go back to the preview. So yeah, one final shot. If it like fails again, then my verdict, at least for now, is that it's not that strong yet to be able to, you know, to build the applications from scratch. And this app is pretty simple in terms of like functionality. There's not lots to it. So it's not like some timetable system in the university which contains like sort of, you know, 50 filters and their combinations in terms of search and being able to, you know, to schedule some classes and whatnot. Okay, so let's click load right here. Okay, I think I'm done with this part. The verdict is obviously not great for the time being, but I liked the visual part and that I'm able to review the code and be able to edit it if I'm like paying for this product and be able to export it to GitHub or like export it as a zip archive. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I'm done with this piece and let's move forward. You know what's funny? So I've already tried using this service before, and I've already tried to create or generate an app like the one that I've tried to show you before. So here is it. So like this is my second project, or like the actual first one. I was shocked because like I've just pasted this link right here and click on Start Radio, and it actually works. And you know, it actually plays the audio. And yeah, I can kind of, you know, switch between the tracks, but that's it. So it's like it's got the loop mode active, and I cannot sort of, you know, select the exact you know, piece of the track. I think I can edit that, but you know, I've run out of credits for this one, so gonna have to wait for a little bit. I'm gonna take my words back. Like, I'm not a bullshitter, so once again, it works and it's fine. Cannot say anything like about it. I think I would be able to add some functionality on top of this, like, you know, being able to select that, like see the actual progress bar, or you know, shuffle it, or one time play a replay. I think it has some, you know, potential. And here I have published this one, so like on this randomized domain, I believe, or there, like native domain, and we are good to go. We can load a different playlist right here. It's gonna take us back to this page. This is how I can, you know, traverse or like change the tracks. Yeah, I'm taking it back. And let's move forward with a second idea and a bonus idea. I believe it's gonna be out there somewhere in the end of this video.
So the second idea, or the idea for the second app, is something like a public email service. Like in my automation experience, the email automation was always like a pain in the butt. Well, at least in the past. I believe it is still up to this day. If you're not like using a paid service such as like lazyass or like whatever. I got like a single video like related to this issue of this topic, like the automation coverage for the Gmail API. What I want to do with this app is being able to generate, like with this service, be able to generate something like an app which would contain a random email generator, like with a constant domain, but the other like part before the domain, I mean before the @ sign and the domain part, that side would be dynamic. And I need a button to like kind of sort of like regenerate email. But I also wanted to remember, let's say less 10 emails, right? So we're not gonna go too fancy and we're not gonna overload it. And the email must not repeat under no circumstances. So this is gonna be up to this AI service to resolve this issue. And what I also need, whenever the email is regenerated, I'm gonna try and like send a test email from my real Gmail email to, you know, to this sort of fake or like temporary email. And I also must see last 10 emails on this very page that have been generated. And I must be able to click each and every like of these 10 emails. And whenever I do so, it's going to open an inbox of that specific email that I clicked on. So in this scenario, we would be able to, you know, to actually check whether the emails are running. I don't really think that this is going to work out, but you know, let's see. Let's see how it's going to turn out right now. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
So let's now formulate the prompt for this second app idea. I need an app which would serve as a public email. The idea is to have a random email generator with some static domain part, some testdomain.com, and a dynamic email address part. The page must contain a button which would generate a new random email on click. The email must be displayed and the user must be able to copy that email. Also, email inbox must be displayed as well. Also, if I want to let's say if I want to send an email to this mail address, I want to be able to check the inbox for the unread messages after the email was sent. I must be able to see some sort of universal endpoint, which would be like an API endpoint, where I would be able to pass an email address and some sort of URL slug, like slash, let's say inbox slash unread, so that it would return all unread messages for that specific email. Final requirement is that an app must keep track of the 10 most recently created emails as a list somewhere on the page, and the user must be able to select any of those emails on click, and by selecting, the email inbox opens for that very specific email address. Okay, so I guess we are good to go. Visual part is totally up to you. Yeah, once again, I don't care about the design, but I guess that we have added like the necessary requirements for this like MVP. You know, just out of curiosity, let's say, let's try this one, right? Will it be able to produce something from this one? Okay, so looks like it is done, and you know, like visually speaking, I guess it's just like did the trick for me, because everything I've described is pretty much here. But let's switch to the functional part, right? Because I want to be able to do all this stuff that I've kind of described in the requirements, in the initial prompt. So what we have here, so we got like the generate new email button. Let's say I click on that. Okay, so here it is in the latest, in the 10 most recent emails, and the API endpoint, which is sorta API inbox unread, like email, and here is our email. So we might try this out in Postman, for example, but I would still need something like, you know, the base URL, because I don't see that like the base URL. Maybe because this app is not yet published, but that's okay. So it kind of, you know, pings the, oh, okay, I see that. It sort of pings the email like every second or so, or like a few times per second, to check for the incoming messages. So let me, just for the sake of this demo, let me, you know, probably like, I don't know, send some email. So let me compose this stuff, test email 1, and let me send that. And then let me go back and let's wait for a little bit, I guess, if that's working, because I don't know whether that's like truly working. Like if I go here and go to send, so I don't see any errors right here, but still I do not see anything like in the inbox. Maybe, you know, just maybe this is because this app is not yet published. That's already interesting. Probably let's address this issue, right? So I've sent a test email from my Gmail to the randomly generated email with this app, but the inbox is empty. And another thing is, could you please display the full API URL, I mean the base URL part as well, so that I can try this out in Postman. So let's try and update this a little bit. This is something that I'm kind of impressed actually so far. They could like raise like the whole email service from the ground up, from the prompt. That's crazy. That's actually like crazy to think about. But nonetheless, let's wait for a little bit up until it kind of finishes the job. Okay, so we got this email that we previously kind of created. Okay, let's simulate it, like add a test email. The real question here is that so it added like it added the base API URL, which is kind of cool. But the real question here is, why cannot I receive real world emails? So let's say, but I need to receive real world emails. I mean, from my Gmail account, for example. Make such functionality possible. I think I'll have to, add or like adjust this app so that it actually displays, the already received emails in the inbox, because I don't see that. Sort of, it's kind of like this. This is still loading. Okay, so yeah, it actually has an answer for me. So like, if you want to move from a simulated inbox to fully functional one that can receive real-world emails, it requires some backend infrastructure. So as an AI assistant, it can write the code, but it cannot configure external services or DNS settings. Okay, so we need to use a real domain via email webhook. We would still need, some adjustment. Do some sort of rerouting of the emails from that service. Yeah, like email forwarding via that webhook. So okay, pretty much understandable. But it would still, it's got, some services have this free tier, but I don't think that would cover up all the possible expenses and the automation needs if we have, a service where we have like lots of emails and we need to test those. That would be pretty hard to do. Okay, let's make a couple adjustments, a couple final adjustments for now. Visuals look like a dark theme or something. Too bright at this point. I don't see the inbox emails in this selected email, but the messages counter shows that there's a couple messages in the inbox. The inbox UI component just keeps showing loading animation. Fix it, please. Yeah, I'm polite with my AI, that's for sure. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so it looks like the dark theme has been applied right here, and also let's check the the inbox or whatever. So let's select one of those and let's see. Yeah, so this is like it's like simulated inbox, so it's not real. And we got those messages, and let's leave only one message in the unread status, and let's actually check that this method returns the unread messages for this specific email inbox. So let me go to Postman. Let me add new URL. Let's try this one. Actually not found, which I don't quite understand why. Maybe it's not public, I don't know. Oh yeah, I see the node. So they require real backend implementation. You can enable backend functions in your app settings to be lists. So, but can AI do that for us? I think I'll never know, because I don't have like daily credits. I'm out of the daily credits for the free tier once again. Okay, but overall, I think this is like a pretty decent representation of what I initially wanted. So we found out that with this service you can actually build all this visual stuff, pretty much all the functional stuff, like even the API, but still it would still require some backend tweaks, and it would still require, I believe, like some 3PI, like third-party service to function properly to be able to send the real-world emails. Which is a little bit sad, because I won't be able to actually use this thing with my automation, which would be like a great advantage, which would give me as an AQA great advantage for whenever I want to produce some test coverage for the scenarios where specific email is being used. I think it's pretty much achievable. But like quite possibly if you set the some like email server with the help of your own dev team, or like dev and DevOps. Well, I don't know. I'm just speculating a little bit right now. So not bad, pretty decent, but not quite there personally for me with this specific idea. Given all the other circumstances and factors, I think it's pretty cool, and I'm pretty damn sure this has like huge potential. Once again, this is not an ad. I'm like I'm just exploring live, sorta. Let's get on with it.
Alright, so at the beginning of this video I've said that there's gonna be just two ideas, but like another one has just popped in my head, and it's gonna be like more simple than the previous two, at least I believe so. So let's try and generate an app which would display a coin, let's say 50 cents. Yo. whatever. So yeah, let it be that way. And also, whenever I click on the coin, the animation of the coin like it starts rotating, and it rotates about like 5 seconds, and when it finishes, it randomly returns either head or tails. So once again, let's give it a last shot and we're done.
Let's construct our prompt, shall we? I need a very simple single page app which would contain a 50-cent coin, and whenever I click on that coin, it's gonna show a smooth coin rotation animation for around 5 seconds, if possible, with sound, with coin sound. Interesting, we really understand that I want to see like head or tails, so we're gonna check that out. But for now, let's wait for a sec. So it's creating some coin flip page, I guess, like elegant coin flip page, or coin flip app. Okay, so here we are. We got like coin flip, click the coin to watch it spin. Well, not the most elegant stuff, I guess, but at least it tried. Let's adjust this a little bit so that the coin looks like an actual coin, and it has that 3D visual effect, like a real world object would. Also, after this spinning animation, it should return heads or tails and keep, let's say, like 10 latest coin tosses. The app name should also be coin toss, and dark theme, please. I'm just a fan of dark theme. Okay, so I guess it didn't understand me quite correctly, because once again the coin is as shitty as it was, and like it didn't name the app correctly. I asked it to name the app like coin toss, but it named it like coin flip, and the animation is still shit, so nothing to add here. It doesn't keep 10 latest results. I don't see any of these features. You sure you're not tripping or hallucinating? I guess this AI, just like any other, is prone to hallucinations and incorrect implementations. But that's okay, I guess. It's just the world we live in. So I'm just gonna paste that, like I just did, and wait for a little bit for it to adjust the app once more. Okay, so it says that well, like this never ceases to amaze me. I got carried away with the description, but I didn't actually implement those features. Like, you didn't implement those features this time either. So like, I've created a real 3D coin. No, you didn't. With actual heads and tail sides. No, you didn't. That looks like authentic 50-cent piece. No, you didn't. Yeah, complete with proper 3D flip animation. No, you didn't. Random results, flip history tracking, and dark theme. No, absolutely nothing is here. Nope, absolutely no feature is seen in the app preview. Make it happen. You got one last attempt, because you see these guys, there's like nothing super fancy that I'm like asking this app to do, that I'm like asking the service to do. I'm not like asking it to to create complex visualizations and to take data elsewhere. It's just a simple coin toss, nothing more, nothing less. If it cannot like implement that, I don't think that it can implement something more difficult. But it actually did, with the email and with the YouTube playlist or the player or whatever. It didn't do that once again, right? So no result has been returned, neither head nor tails. There's no history of the results, latest 10 results. Theme is not dark too. Okay, I think I'm done with this stuff. Let's jump into the conclusions, shall we?
Okay, so as you can see, the ad for the Base44 service was actually great. I like the visual aesthetics of this thing, but I think that it was like a bit of a over delivery, because as you can see, it cannot like build anything that you can imagine, because I've just tried to demonstrate you like 3 things, and it didn't work out as well as I expected it to. But maybe it's gonna be that in the future. Yeah, there's like still lots of questions regarding this app. So once again, I'm not bringing any negativity towards the team or the service in general, because I know that these guys probably have been working lots, working the butts off. I'd like to believe that this is not some hype or like yet another empty AI generator. Yeah, we'll see. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next vid. Peace out.